Video 2, let's go. I'm excited for this one. So, today we're going to be talking about desire. For the last 10 years, I have lived what feels like 100 lives. But in the best way. And I've moved from one desire to the next. And the thing that has been keeping me living these hundreds of lives in these 10 years is desire, continually moving me forward. I've moved from one desire to the next, one identity to the next, one imagined self to the next, one escape fantasy to the next. Sometimes I got the thing, and sometimes I didn't. And in all that chasing, I have learned something. Desire is a funny thing because it is both the thing that can entrap us, but it's also the thing that continues to move our journeys and our stories and our narratives forward. I've learned that desire has laws. I'll probably make a deeper video going into these deeper laws of desires, but this time I've just been asking myself, how can I take what I've learned in 10 years of trial and error and make it usable, make it simple, and make it easy for anybody to analyze and help learn about themselves in their own lives. So here's the breakdown. So before we go any further, do me a favor, go grab a pen and a paper. I want to make this an exercise. Okay. I get it. I'm waiting. I get it. Because if you actually do this, if you just take these 15 minutes with me and do this little silly exercise, you will be measurably closer to living a life that feels like yours. So let's do it! So what I've learned is this. Desire is data. The problem is that most of us just don't know how to read that data. That data teaches us about ourselves when we learn how to read it. And so I've broken it down into this easy, simple exercise. So here it is. First step, name it. Name the want. Step number 2, split that want. We're going to split that want into the object and the thing that's underneath that object, which is the promised feeling that that object we think is going to bring us. Once we understand what that promised feeling is, then we can translate that promised feeling into something we value. When we learn what we value, we're learning the stuff that we're made of, who we are, what's really our identity, what we care about. Then, once we have that value of ours, we can take it, and we can test it. And we can test it in a million other places that doesn't have to be that object of desire that we think is going to unlock the thing that we value. So let's give it a shot. Step number 1. Write down the thing that you want. Not happiness, not a better life, but that object that you desire. For me, that thing has always been the cafe, opening up a cafe on Cape Cod. For you, it might be I want to move. I want to start something new. I want a relationship. I want that car. I want to quit my job. Take that thing, that object of desire, and split it into object and into the promised feeling. The feeling that we think is going to be unlocked and unleashed once we get that object of desire. Split them. For me, that object was the cafe on Cape Cod. And the promised feeling, the things that I was going to have, that feeling that I was going to have if I had my cafe on Cape Cod, was going to be freedom, was going to be creative fire, was going to be financial freedom, was going to be creating something that was mine. But here's the key. That object does not own that feeling. And sometimes that object is just an escape fantasy. It sure has been for me. I need a new city. I need a new job. I need a new place. I need a change of scenery. I gotta start over. Take it from me. And be careful with that. Because if you don't locate and understand what that feeling is underneath that object, what you're going to do is you're going to take all those patterns that you have right now and you're just relocating them to another place. And you're going to be stuck with all those feelings, all the same pains, all the same confusions, all the same frustrations. And it might be even harder because now you're isolated. You feel like you're in a completely new place, but you haven't even dealt with the things that you're really going to deal with yet. Oh yeah. For you, that promised feeling might be belonging, freedom, security, adventure, being seen, peace, confidence. Alright, I gave you a list. Circle the feeling. So now ask, what does that feeling say about what I value? Feeling, value. I crave freedom because I value autonomy. I crave security because I value stability. I crave community because I value belonging. I crave adventure because maybe I value intensity and movement. When I stripped away the cafe, I realized what I actually value is creating something that is mine. Creating space for communication and ideas. That I value writing, creation, performing, entertaining. And the cafe was just one delivery system for that. But the cafe didn't own the only sole key to unlocking those things. And I learned the hard way by going through it and doing the cafe thing, that maybe the cafe did bring a lot of those things that I wanted, but maybe it wasn't the best way to bring those things that I wanted. And now that I've stepped down from rushing towards that thing that I desire, I get to try something new. I get to try this. I get to try different ways where I get to test that value, which brings us to our next thing. And test the value. Now, instead of chasing that object, let's create a test for ourselves. A 7-day experiment where you get to test the value. If I value autonomy and creative ownership, do I really need to go buy a building and open a space? Start a food business, spend all this money to be able to do this and risk everything? Or can I create 4-hour writing blocks, hold myself to those writing blocks every day, and post to YouTube every Friday? Or maybe on Saturday. That's what I'm doing. But maybe it's different for you. Maybe it is going and joining that recreational sports club that you've been thinking about doing for 2 years instead of thinking about moving to another state and thinking that the community that you're looking for is out there where really it could be here. Maybe you are waking up in the morning and having yourself wake up and get right out of bed. Maybe you go for a long backroads drive instead of just doom scrolling. Maybe you get yourself to the gym. Maybe you get yourself to that yoga class. Maybe you carve out 90 minutes a day to do something you've always wanted to learn, but you've never been able to get yourself to have the time to do. Get Duolingo and do the thing. Get piano. I know you got one in your basement that you had since you were a kid. It might not be full size. You don't need to have a full-size piano to learn some chords. Do it. Okay? Maybe you apply for a job that you have never felt qualified for. Something totally out there that you think you're never going to be able to get because it says that you need a master's degree for it, or you need, even with a master's degree, you need 5 years experience. Come on. Oh yeah. Also, you're a born natural writer. Go write your frickin' poetry. Oh yeah. You've always meant to do rugby. Go join the rugby team. Oh yeah. I don't know what else, but that's what I got right now. Small, contained, actionable tests. That's the goal. You don't have to go uproot your life, move across the country, spend your life savings to test your values, to discover yourself. That's what we're doing here. We're discovering ourselves. There's only one way to do it. Do it. Name it. Split it. Translate it. Test it. Most people chase objects. This is so much simpler. And there's nothing at risk. You don't need a 10-year plan. You don't need to uproot your life. You just need one honest experiment. So, I thought this could be a fun thing. If you want, in fact, I encourage it, please comment. One sentence. I want blank, whatever it is. I'll go in and I'll comment. I will respond with the feeling and maybe what I think the value might be. See if that fits. Open the conversation. Let's decode it. Backwards only, baby. That was good. Translate it. Bop it. Split it. Twist it. Test it. Move it. Name it. Jump it.